everybody. Welcome to Beyond the Barricade. It is Papa Dank, and I think I need to fix my camera real quick. And hope everybody's having a great afternoon. It is Thursday. It is 5 o'clock p.m.
I think you might be on mute, man. I can't hear you.
Now everybody can hear me.
There we go.
I'm like, why the hell does it say my mic is on? I literally did not touch nothing with the.
It happens.
Hope everything is well for you today.
Yeah, man, everything's good, man. Just like I said, it's Thursday, so I'm just kind of handling my throughout the week and all that good stuff.
Good.
A lot of it's just like recovery from the week before. Last week I had I didn't have to wrestle, which was awesome. So it was a good time to like recharge batteries, get with family and all that good stuff.
Awesome. Before we start into the questions, you got anything going on this weekend?
Boy, yeah. I got to be in Elite Pro Wrestling out in West Virginia. Then I got Fight Pro Wrestling out in Maryland Sunday. So like usually it's one of them things where it's just like it's when I'm busy, man, I'm super busy.
I get it. All right, let's start off with how did you fall in love with this wonderful world we call professional wrestling?
Boy, no, man. I've been a wrestling fan since I was like 8. My fandom kind of like anything has ebbs and flows and all that good stuff. But it wasn't until like recently where like you finally realize like how big and how small wrestling is at the same time. So like it wasn't until like I was maybe like 28, 29 when I actually realized how big the independents were. I didn't really realize it was a thing up until that point.
Right.
As soon as I like got a chance to like get in it myself, I was hooked.
More the independent is more personal. You can get really up close with the wrestlers as a fan and stuff, and it's more interactive than let's say at AEW or WWE.
Yeah, you can.
yeah, you can. Unless you're paying like $200 for a meet and greet or something.
Exactly.
Who were some of your favorites growing up?
Man, my very first fandom was Ahmed Johnson. Like people laughing.
Yeah.
Love that guy, man. Like it wasn't that like he was some like wrestling technician, because he wasn't. It wasn't like he was some maestro on the mic, because he wasn't. It was just the presence he had when he showed up, man. Like wrestling is about characters at the end of the day. And like man, character. And at the same time, I remember seeing him and looking at my dad, who's like bigger than me. It was one of the things I'm like, I don't think a lot of people can beat up my dad, but at that point in time, I knew.
I'm good, right? Did you ever get a chance to meet him?
No, man, never got a chance to meet him. And there's a lot of people I looked up to growing up, and I never really got a chance to meet. I'm not mad at it, just because I can just kind of keep them in that upper echelon of just like idols and everything like that. Like some people say, like, "Hey, don't meet your heroes," and they're absolutely right. Like, do not meet your heroes. They will let you down. But at the same time, it's like I understand everybody's human, so I get it. But for me, it was just like guys like Ahmed Johnson and Juan Simmons, so I did get a chance to meet, and that was awesome. That kind of like I got to be a fan again, and that was when I get to see them and I get to like reminisce and watch, I get to be a fan. I don't get to be very often, so anytime I can find somebody who makes me a fan, like I automatically just like, well, you're my favorite wrestler now.
Gotcha. I actually saw Ahmed Johnson at the last big event up here in New York.
Oh man.
Yeah, he was really nice. All right, let's go into where did you go to train to be a professional wrestler, and who were your trainers, and what were your thoughts during that initial training?
My very first trainer was Johnny Swinger, down in Kennesaw, Georgia. Go Owls. He ran just a drop-in rate type deal. It was like $20 at the time. He trained Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's from 6 to 9. That's what it was, 6 to 9. And it was like I said, it was $20. I at the time, man, I didn't really want to like blow a few $1,000s on training and then realize it's not. Right. It's at that point where I'm out $3,000 for something I'm not going to use. Right. So, but I still see if I had it in. I want to see if I can do it. I just want to see if I can go. I trained with Johnny for about 6-7 months. I did a few shows was when I was just starting out that thank God will never see the light of day. And then I got hooked up with a few guys from Robert Gibson's school that's now closed, but they kind of gave me the hey, you need to come train with Robert, da 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 da, and still big on respect and all that good stuff. So it was one of those things of like I went to Johnny. I'm like, hey, I got an opportunity to train with Robert Gibson, and he stopped me right there. He goes, please go do that. Go do that. He goes, some of these trainers won't let you like, oh, you just train for me. He's like, no, like do that. He goes, I gave you the box. I was like, but Robert will fill in the gaps, and he did. He filled in the gaps like right away.
Right.
And then I trained with him from like 2016 to about like 28, and then I got a chance to actually like get a chance to try out for Ring of Honor, and
okay.
That's when I pretty much moved from Atlanta, Maryland, and like 19, and I was with them up until they got bought.
Oh, up until the AEW bought them. Oh, Tony Khan, really?
Yeah, till AEW bought them. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Any chance that you'll revisit that and go there and like has there been like some word?
It's in terms of business, you always leave like the door open, But at the same time, I've been a few times, but it's not my Ring of Honor, and so like I'm cool with it. I want nothing but success. I will never. You'll never hear me say a bad thing about anybody. I was like, but at the same time, I'm like, well, this chapter is closed. Let me go on and see if I can find something else. If it opens up again, sweet. If it doesn't, well, hey man, we'll always have Paris.
All right, that's true. That's true. Tell me about and when you were in Ring of Honor, is there anyone that gave you some advice that you carry to you to this day?
Yeah, man. Everybody who's on your team isn't in your corner, and everybody in your corner is not in your team.
Yeah, I think so. Somebody said that to me too.
Wild when I heard it because I didn't understand it. But at the same time, like I immediately got it. I understood where it was coming from.
Right. I think I lost your camera.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. You keep going. We keep rolling.
It was one of those things of where like at the time I kind of took it like, wait, what? Like, what are you talking about? But then as I kind of like seeing it, I'm kind of like getting a chance to like see what's going on and see how people move. I understood it. It wasn't a place of just like, hey, watch your back, don't trust anybody. It was just like, hey man, just understand that like not all advice you are going to get is going to be good advice. A lot of the critiques you're going to get aren't going to be good critiques, and it can come from people who you really trust. But it's up to you to really decipher what people are saying, even if like they're not worth a damn. You still have to like decipher what people are saying, kind of take the gems as you see it, and then other than that, you kind of give them the okay, cool, man, thank you so much for that, and you just keep it moving.
Gotcha. Okay. Best opponent you've wrestled so far and why?
Boy, that's a load.
That's a lot. That's a long list, right?
That's a lot. Opponent.
There's got to be someone that stands out, whether it be good chemistry, good storytelling.
Chemistry-wise, it's been Bro Keller out of Pennsylvania. Me and him have great timing. Me and him have great chemistry, and when we're in the ring, we tell amazing stories just because we have this like trust with one another. That's just like that. Ultimately, up until that point, I've never really felt with anybody else. Up until I got to Ring of Honor.
Right.
One of the best matches I ever had was actually against Shane Taylor. Because we did everything but wrestle. Like we told a story beforehand, we told a story during, we told a story after. And it was one of those things of where like the crowd was quiet, but not for the reason that you think. It was because everybody was in on what we were doing. And everybody was buying into it. It was a great feeling to have, man. It's one of the best matches, I recently that I say I had. I can't wait to watch it back.
Awesome. All right, now tell me about an opponent you want to wrestle that you haven't wrestled in your career so far, and why.
All right, from out the frying pan into the
fire. That's right.
Fire. Charles Manson, out of New York. Man, that dude has a character that's out of his mind, and I love it. Like it's real dark, it's real kind of like real twisted, and I find it like it. If you have a character, I want to wrestle you.
Gotcha.
You know, I tell people all the time, like, if you're looking for like this technical masterpiece, this ain't going to be it. If you're looking for like this high flying thing, this ain't going to be it.
Right.
Looking for a wrestling match that's going to be engaging. If you're looking for a wrestling match that's going to like speak to you without really speaking to you, then like, yeah, I'm your guy. And there's a handful of wrestlers that like I know that we can get into the ring and we can like make some serious magic if given the time and the opportunity. And he's one of them.
Okay, awesome. Tell me about your favorite venue you've wrestled out of and why.
Oh man, I got two. One out of DC Brow, man. It's a brewery out there in DC, privately owned. Great people. They have a venue out there. They have this big giant room. Not anymore. Where you set up a whole ring, man. It's like 400 people, standing room only. It's
wow.
And then there's a place out in Jackson, Mississippi called the Hideaway. It's not old, but it's like also doubles as a concert hall. So it has like a stage and all that good stuff. So the lighting is amazing. And the acoustics are amazing because it's a concert hall. So there's a giant loft where guys can get changed, but you can watch the show without having to like be in the show. You get to be it without being a part of it, man. I love that place. I miss it. I think it's still there. I'm not sure. But at the same time, one of those things, man. You give me a dope venue, man, I'm in.
Right. There's some venues that out here in Long Island where they're actually at a movie, like a theater type place where they do like dinner and a wrestling show.
There's a few places in New York that like I can't wait to wrestle in.
Cool. Name it.
And the other one being Melrose. I want to wrestle there so bad just because of really the history in those places and the show there. Like I've always at 2300 number of times already. And while wrestling at like arenas are fun and they're great, I enjoy sometimes the smaller
venues
because it's more intimate and things mean more when that happens.
Absolutely. What has been your best fan interaction so far?
All right. Well, hey, it wasn't fun for him. So I'm in Pennsylvania. I can't remember where I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm trying to think of it right now. But anyways, working the show. Not bad little shows, decent, whatever. And there's this guy in the crowd who is giving me hell. I mean, he's giving me all types of hell. And I'm letting him have it, man. I'm like, yeah, man, go for it. No big deal, whatever. You know,
right.
I don't care. He keeps going, you suck. He goes, O'Shea, you suck. O'Shea, you suck. O'Shea, you suck. And I finally give this guy the time of day. And I turn to find, like, where in the hell is this voice coming from? Coming from, like, middle of the row. I'm sorry, middle of the crowd in the aisle. And this dude's in a wheelchair. And
no.
So I kind of like, hey, man, whatever. He's like, no, Shay, you suck, man. You really suck. I don't know why you're wrestling. Looking at him. But you know what, man? I can easily say something really disparaging to cut you down right now. But you know what? I'm just going to be the bigger man and walk away. And I just turned my back to him and got in the ring and keep wrestling. And the crowd went, holy shit. And at the time, I didn't realize what I said until I thought it back. And I went, oh, holy shit. Oh, that was so mean. But that was really funny. He never said anything to me for the rest of the night. The crowd, like the boys in the back, thought that was hilarious. For me, I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to say what I want to say. Like, what are you going to do? Fight me? Come on, let's go. That's the joy of independent wrestling, though. We're like, hey, if it's interactive theater. So if like you're going to say something, like, yo, get your mind right. I'm going to talk back to you.
Right. I would talk crap to you too.
Exactly. I'm going to be better at it because I get paid to.
Right. You're a professional trash talker. Have you ever wrestled out here in Long Island?
No, I haven't wrestled out of It's like I said, it's a small little checklist of places I want to be able to wrestle at. Like I said, I've done New York, like Bronx and Brooklyn and all that good stuff. But like
Right.
long, I haven't really got a chance to wrestle at. My biggest thing right now is I really, really, really want to get back overseas. I've already done Canada. I've already done Germany.
Uh-huh.
Really want to see what like Mexico. I really want to do Canada kind of again. But my biggest thing is not even so much Japan, man. I really want to do the United Kingdom. I really want to get a chance to get out there and just like show my stuff and really just go with some of the best that like Britain has to offer. Because
Right.
I've been British wrestling for a minute. It started with Progress, and it kind of like evolved from there.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon the pun. But it's just one of those things of where like I love wrestling. I love watching wrestling. I love taking it in. Love being a student of the game. I want to wrestle everybody, everywhere, all the time.
Okay. All right. What was your experience in Canada like?
It was fun, man. It was the first time I really got a chance. I've been to Toronto, but I was out in Winnipeg. Actually, last year in August. It was fun, man. Canada has a great wrestling scene. It's a shame that sometimes like some of the major cities are kind of like far and in between each other because it
Mm-hmm.
takes like 8 hours to get somewhere.
Wow.
But at the same time, man, when they show up, they show up. They're loud. And honestly, man, to me, they're the perfect wrestling crowd. They want to be entertained, but they're not here for some bullshit. So like, if you're gonna give it to them, like give it to them. They're smart enough to know what's understand, but they still get what it is. So it was a great time, man. I really, really, really want to do it again.
Okay. What about Japan? Have you been to Japan, or do you
I've
want?
been to Japan on vacation, never to wrestle. I wouldn't mind going to Japan, but for what it's worth, it's not that big on my list. Japan likes what they like, and I don't fit the mold of what they like, and that's perfectly fine. Like you'll never hear me bitch, moan, or complain about it. Thomas, like I'd rather go someplace where I'm wanted than rather go someplace where I'm tolerated.
Okay. All right. If you had to pick one of the big companies to work for, who would you want to go to and why?
Big company, as in
Like,
internationally.
no,
Oh,
let's do look United States. You know, AW, WWE, Impact, NWA, they're all big companies.
I mean, if I'm chasing money, always WWE. If I'm chasing exposure, AEW. But honestly, though, if I'm it's just for the love of wrestling, if I had to choose between the three, I'd rather go to Impact.
Okay. Why is that?
I feel like I feel like there's more chance for me just to be able to wrestle. There's more chance for me to explore who I am as a character, explore who I am as a wrestler without being uh, stifled, without being, pushed. I don't say pushed over, but just kind of like
Right.
shuffled off. I don't want to be. I don't want to be. I don't want to sign to a team and be put on the bench
Right.
like starter.
You,
you know?
you want to be active. I get it.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm a star player, but I'm a starter, sturdy left tackle, and
And
you always want that dude on your. You always want that dude starting.
a lot of wrestlers that go to Impact are much happier. If you
Yeah,
notice.
I have a lot of friends over there who are just over the moon happy, and I'm happy for them.
Awesome. Awesome. Have you ever had interactions with the SATs?
No, well, we've talked like on social media here and there,
Uh,
but we've never like met in person. It was something that they said they wanted to do. We've tried to make it work here and there, but sometimes it just things happen the way they happen. It's I have big respect for them, especially what they've done in New York, what they do around that area and all that good stuff. I know they do NWA recently. I know they're past with Ring of Honor and all that good stuff. So for me, like
right.
those guys are the truth. Those guys.
GCW. They're at GCW.
Right, yeah, GCW. Those guys are who they are for a reason, and like I said before, anybody who's anybody, they'll ring the bell. Let's go.
Well, maybe they can make something work because they got their own promotion now. I don't know if you heard.
See, man, my door's always open. My phone,
I'm,
I tell you, my phone changed.
I'm gonna bring it up because I'm a part of it. That's why.
Let's go. Man, come on.
Wrestling is now.
Wrestling is now. Let's go for it.
Hey man, maybe we can make it happen.
Hey, man, you know me, man. I'm only my dad.
Tell me about. I know we got a short time tonight, but tell me about your best rib story. So so far?
My best rib stories. Ooh.
Those are the best stories, man.
It depends on who. It depends on.
Depends on the rib, right?
It kind of depends on who you are. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really have a lot of like rib stories. Mainly because like a lot of this, like I have a good time with the guys that I wrestle with and the guys that I hang out with, but I keep my circle like really really tight. I do that on purpose. Just because you really can't trust everybody, no matter what business, you really can't trust anybody. But the people
That's true.
here are like the people who are like I really just like who if I have questions, I go ask them. If I need a critique, and I mean like a critique, like I go to them. Like we joke and we play around, but like I'm a little older, so I don't really rib people like that. Just because it comes back to you, and I'm like, nah, I don't want this coming back to me. Yo, man, just pin me, pay me, let me go home.
That's right. Go. It's time to go home. Oh, Shay, plug away your upcoming appearances and where everybody can follow you.
Yeah, man, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Big Bad Kaiju. It's that all the way across. You can find me on TikTok, same thing, Big Bad Kaiju. I have a fan page on Facebook, O'Shea Edwards. I do have a wrestler page. You can try to add me if you want to. More than likely, I'm not going to accept because it's Facebook. Yeah, who cares? For all my merch, you can find me on foryouwear.com. You can also find whatamaneuver.com. All my new shirts, all my new upcoming designs all pop out over there. Like I said, I'm going to be in West Virginia, Maryland. I got New York coming up pretty soon.
Okay, all right.
Colorado. I got a big weekend in North Carolina coming up, where I'll be down there for 3-4 days. Like it's a lot of traveling for me. You know, I'm just racking up the miles. You know, like, hey, let's go, man. Coming up, let's pay for this thing.
Gotcha.
Like,
hopefully you accept my friend request.
Yeah. I tell people all the time, like, you know, most people want to put on wrestling shows, but when I show up, man, it's an event. Like, come out to these events. These are going to be a great time. You're going to be entertained. It's fun for everybody. Unless you're across from me in the ring, then hey, man, sorry about your damn luck.
Then sorry, yeah, too bad you're going to lose tonight, bud.
Yeah, sorry.
All right. As for me, I'm going to be, like I said earlier, I'll be at Wrestling Is Now Maximo Legacy Tag Team Tournament, where they're going to crown their first World's Tag Team Champions. As you see, you got a lot of great tag teams there. You got CMD, Audacity, Slime Balls, Miracle Generation, Brick City, Wasted Youth, the Gordons, and the new backseat, and of course that main heavyweight championship match, Joey Conway versus PJ Savage. So go to Wrestling Is Now to get your tickets for this event at the Mecca, New Jersey, and then followed by that, I will be at Victor Pro Wrestling's Gold Rush Rumble, August 12th. You're not going to want to miss this. We got the debut of Mother Endless coming up. That's going to be exciting.
That's solid.
Also, check out my newest vlog interaction from VPW, where I win back my YouTube 23-6 Heavyweight Championship, O'Shea. Look at that. Yeah. Isn't that thing beautiful?
Gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. I've already had some people try to challenge me, but they better stay back. They better stay back. Everybody have a good night. I am going to be back soon with, hold on, let me pull that up real quick before we head out. Jay Alejandra, she's coming up at 8 o'clock tonight, followed by Ray Ivy, the authentic Ray Ivy. He's coming up at 9 o'clock from MCW, and I'm part of the anti-bullying tour. As you can see, there's my pop figure with the anti-bullying logo. So make sure you support MCW and their anti-bullying tour campaign. Everybody have a good night. I'll see you in a few. O'Shea, just stick around for a moment.